Yes, sir, fight fans. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's up, man? Welcome on back. You are rocking out with the homie. Mademan in a building. Yes, sir. Hey, man, y'all know how I get down. We talking boxing, man. Salute to you all. Once again, it is on. Once again, it is a honor and a pleasure. I repeat, a honor and a pleasure to get on here, rock out with the boxing fans and the boxing fam. What up, fight fans? Wanted to come on back through today, man. I'm apologizing for earlier's live stream. We had quite a few folks come on through a bit earlier. My fault. I got to get hip to this StreamYard stuff, man. It's my apologies, fight fans. Y'all know how this thing kind of goes sometimes, man. The thing is that with this StreamYard thing, bro, if whatever device you're on, if the screen times out for whatever reason, then they kind of kick you out also. So a lot of portions are earlier stream because I was doing it on my tablet. Unfortunately, man, my tablet kept timing out on me, and I didn't know that a lot of it wasn't being recorded, fight fans. So my apologies, man. I went back and listened to it and I couldn't believe it. You know what I mean? That's why I ended it the way I did, because I just noticed this towards the end that, yeah, a lot of the stream was on mute. So my apologies for earlier stream. I'll just kind of pick it on back up right here and make some of the same points that I was making a bit earlier, man. So let's get to it, fight fans. Salute, salute. Now, I want to give everybody a heads up just to let everyone know, brother all wrapped up right now, got bandages and stuff all around me. I pulled some serious muscles and some ligaments in my shoulder. So, I'm going to do this behind the scenes, fight fans. Brother all wrapped up. I'm under doctor's orders, and it is what it is. So let's get to the main thing, man. It's kind of late tonight, so let's just get right on to it. And the big question is here, man, for Gervonta Tank Davis. We know that he's now sidestepped my main man, Lamont Roach, walking on over there to Jake Paul and to take this fight with Jake Paul over on Netflix in November. Kind of crazy they having this right around the time of my main man, Terrence Crawford and Canelo's throwdown. So I don't know what they trying to do, bro. I mean, like, this was just corny, man. This whole thing is just corny to me. Why would you try to put this circus freak show right before a historic fight like Crawford and Canelo, man? So, but hey, I guess more entertainment for us boxing fans. But y'all know, man, I'm a little bit disgusted by this whole situation. I'm from DC, so these two cats from my area, man, and this definitely hits home for the homie. And it's like, damn, man, I've been supporting Tank Davis for his entire career. And y'all definitely know I back my main man, hometown favorite, Lamont Roach. And so this comes as a bad thing for me, man. I really was on the edge of my seat, wanting to see the rematch between these two. I thoroughly believe that Lamont Roach got robbed in that first fight. I mean, everything that we know about that first fight right now spells robbery. And I'm going to tell you right now, everybody, the words that really ring true for me right now is when Lamont Roach said that Gervonta Davis told him during the fight that, oh, they're not going to give it to you, right? They're not going to give it to you. When I think about that, and I think about this Jake Paul situation, I say to myself, was it already all in the cards? Was it already all in the cards, everybody? I mean, listen, say what you want to say, man. Main man, according to the reports, they're saying that Gervonta Davis can make anywhere between 30 to 40 million dollars, depending on what article you read. Maybe even some are going even higher. And so once again, I propose the question, is it a duck, even with the $40 million for Jake from State Farm sitting right there, fight fans? Is it still considered a duck? And the answer for main man is very simple. The answer is not only yeah, but the answer is hell yeah. Now, this is going to play more into also the question that I got here in the title of whether or not him skipping over Lamont Roach's rematch is right or wrong. But I'm going to definitely classify this as a duck. And I know what people may say. Tank Davis Nation, I'm sure that the thing that you got made up in your head is, well, hey, he's making, 40 plus million dollars. So he's making $1 zillion. So it just kind of makes sense. I'm sorry. If you feel that way, Mr. or Mrs. Sucker, then I don't know, then you just kind of out there just lost. Because I would have to ask the question of, do we think that that same 30 to 40 million dollars is inside of the sport of boxing for Gervonta Davis? That's the golden question. That's the golden question. And I will honestly say yes. I mean, think about it. The money is sitting right over there with Turkey Al-Sheikh. Correct me if I'm wrong. If Gervonta Davis would have took a fight with Shakur, if he would have took a fight with Devin, are those not 30 to 40 to $50 million fights for Gervonta Davis? If that's just so what he demands? If I'm watching Canelo Alvarez go over there and get damn near $500 million, you telling me that Tank Davis, if he wanted that kind of money, couldn't say, you know what, we're going to do some business with Turkey and miss me with anyone with this whole he trying to be loyal to Al Heyman stuff, because that shit is now 2019 played. It's played, everybody. Because I'm watching David Benavidez operate over here on a DAZN card, and not to mention headline a fire ass card. And he's over there rocking with Turkey. I'm looking at Turkey Al-Sheikh say, hey, I don't know what y'all thinking that me and Al Heyman got a problem, because every other Riyadh season card, I got PBC fighters on it. And I'm like, what? So you telling me that Gervonta Davis couldn't do what David Benavidez did, or do what Daniel Jacobs did back in the day when everybody thought that there was an issue for Jacobs to walk off PBC and go to Eddie Hearn? You telling me that Gervonta Davis couldn't have said, you know what, hey, give me Shakur Stevenson. Matter of fact, Turkey, let's do a 2 or 3 fight deal for 150 mil. You telling me that that couldn't have happened in the sport of boxing, but instead he had to go and take an easy route to go with Jake from State Farm. Now, like I was saying in the earlier live stream, everybody, make it make sense to me. 200-pound Jake from State Farm can get the fight. What if he clips Gervonta Davis? Gervonta Davis is 5'4", right? 5'5". Jake Paul stands at 6'1", 200 plus pounds. I get it. Jake, he's not a real fighter. He's not a bum, but he's big. I'm talking big, and compared to Tank Davis. So what if he clips Tank Davis and make his dumb ass look goofy, chasing after this money, running away from Lamont Roach, his legacy at this point now, his biggest legacy fight, and you mess around and go over there and get clipped by Jake from State Farm, bro? That would be, man, that would be a terrible, terrible thing to see. A terrible thing to see. Another thing, fight fans, well, Mainman, he getting 30 to 40 million. He got to go after the easy money. Here's my deal. If Lamont Roach was the easy work, as his fan base described that he is, and he ain't this and he ain't that, or it was just a lucky night, Tank had an off night, Tank was depressed, Tank was in his head, Tank had all these issues surrounding him, the ghosts of Christmas past, the ghosts of Christmas present were all haunting Gervonta Davis. See, the thing is, fight fans, if Roach was so easy, then why did they just jump back in there, get it over with, and then move forward to Jake from State Farm? I think there wouldn't even been no rumblings, to be honest with you, from a lot of fans. If he would have just took the rematch, got the easy work out of the way, still made about $10 million in that fight, and then walked off to do Jake from State Farm. The issue is that they are afraid that Lamont Roach was going to mess up the whole program. That's all it is. They are so afraid he gonna mess up the whole entire freaking program. And now I gotta watch Gervonta Davis run over here and do a circus fight when I'm on the edge of my seat, waiting for this rematch, because that first fight was the most contentious thing I've ever seen in Gervonta Davis's career. I'm on the edge of my seat. He got to make this right. And what does he do? Get low. Get low, fight fans. Make it make sense. Salute to my main man, DIL87 out there. What up with you, man? Salute. Main man, Tank has always said that he doesn't care about legacy and fighting this guy or that guy. Why are fans more interested in his legacy more than he does? He said numerous times he's only here for the bag. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to address that. I think what it is, DIL87, to be honest with you, is because time is passing. Like, we are now getting into crunch time. I think, like, when people heard that, we heard young Tank talking like that for a while. We thought, he's just young, he's just talking, put politics. Now we looking at a 30 going on 31-year-old Tank. And now I'm starting to wonder now, like, I guess he was right. We really ain't gonna get those fights. And also you gotta understand what Tank Davis is also saying when he say that. Because Tank has also said in previous interviews, I don't call out fighters. I don't say they at once upon a time he used to say they just give me a list and I just say give me somebody off the list. Tank don't have that kind of control over his career and he knows it. He can't just say a name and then PBC gonna make it happen. It don't work that way with Tank. Tank was built and created and manufactured to a certain degree as an attraction. You are made to attract. You are made to get numbers. You are made to do whatever it takes to keep the numbers rolling, to help us get other deals and to work with other outfits and networks and basically bring more money to us. That's why Tank was made. And so when you listen to Tank Davis, oh no, I don't call nobody out. I don't never call nobody out. Because he knows, bro, it's the PBC way. It's how they gonna do it. This is why you was created. This is why they sort of protected you so to a certain degree. And I'm sick of hearing it. Tank Davis was the guy back in the day talking about some Floyd Mayweather. He nobody rushed Floyd. No one rushed Floyd. No one told Floyd he trying to get me beat. He trying to get me beat when Floyd was trying to get him to step up in competition. I'm done. Like I said earlier in earlier live stream, I've showed Tank Davis over 8 years of grace. And now we are 2 years into his prime. And I still don't got a Shakur, a Devin. I still don't got a Teo. I got him running away from Lamont Roach 2 years into his prime. And I'm supposed to just sit here as a boxing fan after I didn't pay for a gazillion pay-per-views from Tank Davis and just keep on being okay with it. I can't do it. Can't do it. Can't do it. If he wanted to make the $40 to $50 million, it's called for us boxing fans. Go fight for that shit. Turkey right there. All of the fights that we want to see, Tank ain't make top dollar for it. Easy work. And listen here, fight fans. For anyone that want to run around with the crap, oh well, Mainman, Tank and Jake Paul was already in the works because that's why Jake Paul was there, which I may agree with you to a certain degree. It probably was already in the works. Lamont Roach wasn't supposed to be here. He wasn't supposed to get this far. I totally agree with that. But here's the deal. When that first fight happened, when that controversial draw that I saw Lamont Roach win that fight and Tank Davis telling Lamont Roach they're not going to give it to you. Who the hell is they? But when that draw happened, everybody, well, all of that Jake from State Farm shit got to get on put on pause. We're not talking about if Tank Davis fights Lamont Roach, he's making peanuts. This is just the typical PBC crap. This is the PBC way. They did it to Manny Pacquiao. They did it to Terrence Bud Crawford. And now they're doing it to Lamont Roach. I've seen this over and over again. This is with the old switcheroo, everybody. The old switcherooski. Make you wait. We know how this game played, man. We know how this game played. You know what I'm saying? Real spill, man. Let me see here. D-Ray, what up with you, D-Ray? Salute, bro. Crawford in 5. Salute. We talking boxing, man. Hey, yeah, man. Next one we doing, we definitely stand on Crawford and Canelo. I had to do a little off ramp with this particular stream right here because of the news that broke out, but we're not going to spend a lot of time with this Tank and Jake Paul shit, to be honest with you. We got more important, more bigger fish to fry. We pivoting back to Canelo and Crawford first thing tomorrow. Y'all can please believe me. Canelo fans, I ain't gonna let you down. I'm definitely gonna talk to y'all about Canelo's tools. You know what I'm saying? DIL says, Tank doesn't care about what anyone says about his supposed legacy. The man is fighting check to check, and who knows how much money he has left from all of the previous fights. And let me address that, bro, because I don't know if y'all also heard Andre Berto. I heard Andre Berto talking about some what Tank doesn't care what no one thinks. I don't know what the hell is wrong with these boxes. And of course, there's going to be a few idiot fans out there pumping their pom-poms. Some Tank don't care what y'all think. He's talking about your dumb ass too. What do you mean Tank doesn't care what the fans think? Who do you fighters and you boxers that think that way think that you are? Who the hell do you think you get your money from? No fans in the building, no check. Oh well, I get he getting his money from Netflix. Guess what? Netflix don't got no subscribers, which is the people. Then guess what? No check. It always comes back down to the people. Y'all fighters that's running around, he doesn't care what people think, and boom, 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 boom. Well, okay, cool. Then I'm not gonna be your sucker. You basically calling the people suckers. Y'all gonna pay for what we tell you to pay for. Basically, is what you're telling me. I gotta go into Chipotle and say, hey, let me get some chicken and rice and corn and the vegetables and all that. Let me get all that shit, a nice big old bowl, and then they come out with a double cheeseburger, and I'm still supposed to pay for it. He don't care what y'all think. Yo, we the ones that pay for the pay-per-views. How the hell he become the biggest name on American soil? Because of the people. And you gonna tell me he doesn't care what the people think? Some of these fighters get egos that's just way too big, dog. Especially when you the ones helping them out. That shit becomes narcissistic. And I'm looking at Tank with the side eye. Because everyone that's helped Tank along the way, he's kicked their asses to the curb. Tell me I'm lying. Floyd Mayweather, trying to get him to step up in competition. He started having frictions with Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather runs to Al Heyman and says, yo, well, Tank is spending too much money way too fast. We're going to have to put him on some kind of per diem. Tank Davis out here whining and complaining, oh, Floyd in my business and boom, boom. Bro, you spending too much money. He trying to save your bread. You kick Floyd to the curb. Leonard Ellerbe, the best seller for Tank Davis. No one was at a camera selling Tank Davis and protecting Tank Davis more than Leonard Ellerbe. When the last time you seen them two together? Coach Calvin hanging on by a string. Doesn't even have privy to the inside of really what's going on with Tank Davis. Kept at arm's length. Everyone that's helped Tank Davis, including his fans, have been crapped on by Tank Davis. And that's just nothing but the facts. Anyone else is in denial, then you would just go, boy, y'all doing some like super fandom now. Like where we at now is just like, yo, you just don't care. You are totally hypnotized. If I pay for all of your pay-per-views, brother, I want what I paid for. And at this point, with 2 years of your prime clocked out, I can't even get the Lamont Roach rematch. I'm not content with mediocrity, fight fans, like some of y'all is, man. Real spill. Who do you think that you ought to tell this man not to go and get his biggest bag? I'm not telling him not to go and get his biggest bag, Lunchbox. I'm telling him to keep it in boxing to go get your biggest bag. This shit is pussy. See, this is the thing. Y'all back to pussiness. This is why boxing is the way it is. It's too much mushy in boxing. Oh yeah, go over there and take the easy route on my dime. No. If you want to make the 40 to 50 million, here's what you do. Go fight Shakur. Don't tell me that Turkey ain't got it, Mag 7 for life. Don't tell me he ain't got it. Go fight Devin. Go fight Teo. Don't tell me he ain't got it. The thing is, from what I see here, I see a lot of desperation, Holmes. You just don't want to admit it. I see a lot of desperation. PBC running low on cash, and Tank is the meal that they eat off, and y'all cool with that. That's why Tank's so unhappy. He can't move the way he really want to move. He ain't been really getting paid the way he needs to be getting paid, and everybody knows it. Why? Because of what Tank has done. Tank has decided lawyer fees ain't cheap. Situations making disappear ain't cheap. Tank is trying to figure out where his money at. So now they got to throw him into some circus crap so he can make maybe 20 million. Because I know y'all see 40. I know damn well he ain't touching 40. After the bells and whistles come out of that shit, he might walk away with 20. Why couldn't he have gotten that in the sport of boxing? Make that make sense to me. Y'all act like money ain't in boxing for Tank. He's the biggest name on American soil. The Tank fans run around talking about how many pay-per-views he sell, but then want to sit around and talk about, well, he need to make his biggest bag on your dime. Mag 7, do you want to see Jake from State Farm, or do you want to see Tank versus Shakur, Tank in the Roach rematch? Why don't you speak up? Or you cool with paying $80 and for anything that they just throw at you? No, I'm cool with it. I want to see Tank get rich. What do y'all be thinking, bro? We are not here to just enrich people. We are here to pay for a service. And you pay for what you want, not what they throw at your dumb ass. You got purchasing power. And as long as boxing knows that there are cats like you out here, they're gonna keep on throwing you slop. My Lord, fight fans, y'all got to wake up, bro. Y'all are boxing fans. You should demand the best. Oh, he's going to make his biggest bag. I'm a news flash. This ain't even going to be his biggest bag. That's the crazy part about it. If Tank walks away with 20 million before the bells and whistles are done, he'd be lucky. The problem is that Tank he's just tired of probably making anywhere from 3 to 5. He's probably tired of that. And I feel for him. And so once again, I asked the question of, is it a duck? When I know he can go and get the money elsewhere, I got to call it a duck. This is an easy route fight. Lamont Roach sat there and waited for this man. Waited for him. And he ran away from it. The crazy part about this fight, fans, is like I was describing a little earlier. Here's the wild part about it. They are literally running behind Jake. Remember, when the first fight was over, even though Tank did say what he said at the podium, right, in the post-fight press conference, oh, well, it may not happen until next year. He knew, but the thing is that they wasn't sure because Jake started negotiating with Anthony Joshua. Tank Davis even started publicly on social media, correct me if I'm wrong, on social media, he started going back and forth with Roach, telling Roach he know where he live and he know where his kids go to school. Didn't he start doing all of this? They were headed towards the rematch. Tank hired all of these coaches. According to my sources behind the scenes, Tank was working with several different coaches preparing for Lamont Roach and locked all the way in. So they were headed towards Roach. The thing is that I guess whatever happened between Joshua and Paul didn't work out. Network differences, according to the articles. And then all of a sudden, here come Tank. Oh, here I am. Hey, please choose me. Choose me. So you mean to tell me he was headed towards Roach, but the second that the AJ and Jake Paul stuff break down, all of a sudden now Tank is raising his hand doing jumping jacks, hoping that Jake from State Farm chooses him. That's a pussy move, homie. You call it whatever you want. That's the problem with y'all. Y'all try to dress this shit up and they're going to keep throwing you this shit. I've talked to enough boxing heads behind the scenes to know as long as they know that they are gullible fans out here, they're going to keep on playing the same game. Oh shit, fans don't care. That's why they don't want the diehards. They love you casuals because they're gonna make all of the money in the world. Y'all ain't nothing but licks. Y'all are licks. I'm calling it for what it is. Y'all may not see it, but y'all are licks. Y'all are licks, and y'all make it hard for real live boxing fans like myself who want to see the best versus the best operate. And this is real spill. I want to stop and give a major salute, man, to my main man out there, longtime supporter, always in my corner. Thank you so much. Major salute 2 times to my G out there, G Benson. Thank you so much out there in the super chat, my friend. And I hope all is well, brother. Hope all is well. He says, yo, man, the first fight was too much of a close call for Tank. And he realized a loss can affect his financial future. And at his age, he's made a decision to give up his legacy. But the irony is he could have did both by moving better. He could have, you said it perfect. He could have literally 2 birds in 1 stone, legacy and the money. That's how Floyd did it. He didn't sit back and actually learn from Floyd. He didn't sit back and Floyd was able to garner both. The biggest numbers ever in boxing, most money ever. And then on top of that, legacy is secured. Tank had that offered to him on a silver platter. But instead, they chose to go down a traction route. And that's what disappoints me because we see his talent level. We know he good. We know he's sharp. We know he can fight. But how good is he? No one really knows that answer for real, for real. We can guesstimate. We can say, hey, man, I got an eye test. My eye test tells me that Tank is going to be, this and this, that, and the third. Nobody don't know that, bruh. Only way we know is if he get his ass in the ring, man. And I got a feeling that Lamont Roach is going to beat him in the rematch. Oh, man, he just had an off night. He was just going through so much. What I saw that night was the system of boxing. do a disgraceful thing that night and protect Gervonta Tank Davis. Tank Davis told Lamont Roach, they are not going to give it to you, bro. If you Lamont Roach and you just fought your heart out, you just had your heart literally ripped out of your chest, fought the best fight of your career and the highest profile fight of your career, to watch the system of boxing just steal it from you, and then watch the same dude who they protected walk off laughing, going to make all of this money. And then in the back of your mind, you thinking, I just beat this dude and was willing to do it again. This ain't a sport, bro. This ain't a sport. It's a hustle, pure and simple. A hustle that's full of suckers. That has a lot of suckers out there that's willing to be gullible enough. I'm here. Sorry about that. But yeah, they there's going to be enough out there gullible enough to do this. And it's very unfortunate, like I said, what happened to Lamont Roach, man, to see all of this have to play out. So whether or not, once again, is it a duck? I would have to say yes, it's a duck. Now let's go to the bigger question real quick. Is it right or wrong for him to sidestep Lamont Roach? Is it right or wrong? Tank Davis running after the money, saying, forget the legacy, forget that moment right there, forget Lamont Roach. I got to go and make this money real quick. Is it right or wrong? Now this is a different question of whether or not is it a duck. Is it a duck? We're talking about boxing. Is it right or wrong? We're talking about life. And Tank Davis only one that knows his bank account. Tank Davis only knows what he really paying, what he facing, how much he got left. He got kids. He got to take care of his children. He got to take care of his family. Whether it's right or wrong for him to go after that money, I don't know if we can answer that. But if the situation is dire financially for Gervonta Tank Davis, then I got to honestly sit here and tell you, fam, from a man's perspective, I don't think it's wrong. But that's only if he's in that dire type of situation where he got to get that money. He got bills knocking at the door. He ain't got time. See, I'm not fooled by the glitz and the glamour. I'm not fooled by the chains and the cars and the blah, blah, blahs. Y'all fooled by that shit. That's for low vibrational people who can easily be fooled. Gervonta Davis told us in an interview, and y'all can tell me if I'm lying, I was hanging out with Floyd Mayweather, walking around with chains on my neck, yet I was being evicted. I had to sell my jewelry to keep them from kicking me out. These are the words of Tank Davis. I'm walking around with jewelry, these platinum chains around my neck, yet I'm being evicted. And this was just a few years ago, fight fans. Not long ago. So the question of whether or not Gervonta Davis needs the cash, if he really is in the position, because he has been in a lot of trouble. And I'm fully aware that those cases ain't cheap. Lawyers ain't cheap. Things don't disappear for the cheap. Baby mamas don't show up, even though they subpoenaed. They don't show up for court. That ain't cheap. And so only Tank knows. And so if he's looking at a situation where it's like, "Low Roach, I fucks with you, homie. You cool, man. You cool. We got a big thing, but bro, you might mess it up for me. And I need this right here because I ain't been getting nothing from these people over here. They ain't been really paying me, bro, for the last few fights. And I gotta get something right now. I've been going through a lot of shit. I gotta make this quick bread. I might, this ain't gonna count towards my record. It's just an exhibition. I need this money right there. Is that right or wrong? I don't think so. But here's the deal. All Tank had to do in that case is talk to Lamont. Lamont is not an asshole, bro. Lamont probably would have obliged Tank, to be real with you. He probably would have said, you know what, cuz, I understand, man. Hey, listen, I tell you what I'm doing. Thank you for being open with me. I'm gonna go ahead and go do this, defend my belt. Maybe call up Shakur, see if I can really mix it up with Gary. Whatever. I'm gonna go and do something real quick and then go ahead and make your money. I understand. And boom. I think Roach would have been cool. And Roach would have probably been out here defending Tank. Like, you know what? Y'all need to back up off Tank, bro. Because he got a lot going on. And me and him talk. I respect it. They gonna throw me a little step beside money to keep me cool. And I'm gonna let him go and take his little shot real quick because he need the bread. Or at least he ain't got to say that part. He need the bread, but he can just, I'm gonna let him go and do his thing because, hey, I understand, man to man. That's all Tank had to do. You need to learn how to move like a man, brother. That's all you had to do. You and Roach go way back. You know his moms, his pops, the whole nine. All you had to do was talk to the brother. And this wouldn't have been seen because then Roach would have been in your corner with you. It would have been seen like, okay, y'all agreed upon something and now we understand. Not you just popping up out of the blue when Roach thinking you about to fight him 1 minute, then you go dark and then Roach don't know what's going on. He left in the dark like, what the hell? In limbo, career, he's a champion. Career, he just sitting back chilling. All because he waiting on you when all you had to do was pick up the damn phone. That was it, bro. That was all. That was all. Salute, man. Salute to my main man out there, DIL87 out there in the super chat. Thank you for that support, my friend, and much love to you, bro. Much love. Always in my corner, man. He says, yo, man, these Tank fans will run damage control until the end of time. Despite having God-given talent and skills, he swerved all of the major challenges and threats. That's true. That's what drives us up a wall. Hey, listen, if he would have got one of them cats, bro, just one. I'm not talking about Gamboa. I'm not talking about Leo Santa Cruz and Isaac Pitbull Cruz. If he'd have just gave us a Shakur, hell, if he would have just did the Lamont Roach rematch, that's the minimum, everybody. The bare minimum. I don't even think that a lot of people would have been on his back. It's the fact that we don't got nothing. And we're 2 years into his prime. And just think, if we do get the fights eventually, we're looking at a 32, 33-year-old possibly Tank fighting these dudes. If he even still around the sport of boxing. This is the reason why I've been distancing myself away from Tank lately. Because, bro, you dumping on your fans. You're not giving us the fights that we want to see. You tripping out on people, like you just tripping out. Like a little bit of pressure now the wall start to close in a little bit. You just tripping, lunching out. Never seen them take a knee in the middle of a fight like that. Like all of this shit, bro. I don't even know if how long Tank even gonna be around the game, bro. That's the sad thing about all of this, bro. That's the sad thing about all this. Tank ducked Shakur, Devin, Teo, didn't want to fight Loma until he saw chinks in his armor. Tank is not a Hall of Famer. He'll probably get in based on politics, but based on resume, no. In my book right now, Tank is not a Hall of Famer. He is not a Hall of Famer, and I'm a Tank supporter. I like Tank for whether y'all believe it or not, but he hasn't done enough to make the Hall. Oh man, he's a 3-division champion, and this guy's in there, that guy's in there. He doesn't make my Hall of Fame. I'm not talking about this flimsy mumbo jumbo boxing Hall of Fame, but as far as me as a boxing fan who plays close attention, no, not yet. Not yet. You can't go down in weight to beat on little Leo. You can't go down in weight to beat on little Leo. You can't face Mario Barrios when you know everybody knows that he was supposed to go to 47 and you caught him on the way moving up. You can't do that, bro. And just think that everyone's not paying attention. Your fans ain't paying attention, but boxing fans are paying attention. You need to face your counterparts, bro. You're not going to be able to make it through this era and not fight these dudes. Everyone is now at this point damn near surpassing Tank. Devin has been damn near undisputed, moving up in weight to face on bigger champions. Shakur Stevenson has wiped out a weight class. Tank Davis, when he was at 35, he didn't face the two best guys under him. Shakur did that at 30. These dudes are surpassing Tank. That's why when I used to hear Tank Davis get into it with Terrence Crawford about laughing at Crawford and making fun of Crawford, here's the big deal, fight fans. Tank Davis didn't make more than Terrence Crawford when Crawford was at 147. That's the facts. This is the reason why Tank was always jealous of a Terrence Crawford. He wasn't getting the money he was getting. They look at Bud like, brother, you ain't supposed to be there. That was supposed to have been me. You supposed to have been getting that kind of money. Bud was making more money than all of these dudes, including Tank. Y'all better get hip, man. Y'all better get hip. So to go back to the question of whether or not, once again, is it right or is it wrong to say, hey, I got to go after this money? As a man, if he needs it, then he needs it. And I totally get it. But he should have reached out to Lamont Roach. But ducking Lamont Roach rematch because you scared that the apple cart is going to get upset. If he was so thorough that he was going to beat Lamont Roach, it would have been easy work. That's an easy 10 million in your pocket. The rematch would have been bigger than the original fight. That would have been an easy 10 to 15 million in Tank's pocket. But no, that's not enough. He got to go to Jake from State Farm, pull out of this, and go take the easy work. It's a pussy move, fight fans. It's too much pussification in boxing. Way too much pussification in boxing, man. Way too much. You know what I mean? Let's see here. You can have all of the skills in the world, but when you don't have heart and no integrity, you turn into a fraud like Davis. Man, it's more so, and it's hard to even say, DGO, that he don't have heart. It seems that more so they more interested in just, at this point, scheming and scamming on the fans. That's what they more interested in. It's well, then again, Tank did say his number one fear is losing. He doesn't want to lose. He did say that. But I mean, I don't know what to think of this, bro. And I'm gonna tell y'all right now, man. I just threw up. This is gonna make me throw an extra $100 probably on Lamont Roach for the rematch, because bro, this shows me that they ducking this man, and they are afraid of this man. This is the same reason that PBC didn't want Errol Spence Jr. to get in a ring with Terrence Crawford, because they knew. They tried to stir Errol Spence Jr. towards Canelo. They tried to stir him towards Keith Thurman, more perhaps money-making fights, right, for them, because they knew that Terrence Crawford would get in there and upset the program. And ever since they've allowed Terrence Crawford to come over there and do that, well, that program has been wrecked ever since. They're not going to sit back and let that happen to Lamont Roach, the same way that they sat back and let that happen to Deontay Wilder. They're not going to do it. No way, no how. You know what I mean? Salute to my main man, DIL87, man. He says, yo, no Gary Allen, no Loma, no Shakur, no Teo, no Dev, no Gary, no Antoine, no nobody. We could never get any of these fights from PBC, and it's always no to the fans. My thing is now that people don't have a reason. Like, you could try to make up one. Politics, smolitics, bro. We talking $50 million. And if anyone want to keep on with the politics talks, then explain the David Benavidez situation. How is he over there with Turkey? How? I don't understand. Gervonta Davis. None of these fighters we can get. If he's going to rock over there with PBC, right, then give us Gary Antoine Russell. If y'all want to say, well, Mainman, it's politics and you got to stay loyal to Al, then give us Gary Antoine Russell. That'd be huge out here in the DMV. It'll sell out to the rooftop. Easy work. Will we get that fight? I seen somebody out there in the comments say, yo, why don't they fight each other? There, Mag says, yo, man, why don't they fight each other? Bro, that's a pussy statement, bro. We got to stop this pussification. That shit is contagious, man. Why don't they fight each other? We talking about Tank. When is he going to fight somebody? Devin Fort Regis, Devin Fort Loma, Shakur Fort Herring, Shakur Fort Valdez. Keyshawn was even calling out Teo. Keyshawn is the newcomer. He's the new kid. Instead of Tank addressing Shakur, he tried to put Keyshawn and Shakur against each other. With the other one looking better, Keyshawn, he looking better than Shakur. Like, dog, like they asking you about Shakur. They didn't ask you about Keyshawn. Y'all with this deflection tactics and shit. Pay attention, man. Well, why don't everybody else do something? Like, why everybody got to pick on Tank? You know, it's just like, why is everybody mad with Tank? Man, y'all gotta stop it, man. I hope I wasn't that bad over the years, fight fans. I know I was a defender of Tank for a very long time. I hope I wasn't that damn bad, man. You know what I mean? People act surprised why Tank is getting all of this heat, but they forget that he is tweet and delete queen. Bro, that's pussy. Everything is just that's a pussy move. Tweeting and deleting. I can't, bro. I can't get with this jelly bean activity, bro. Jelly bean activity, bro. Mean what you say and say what you mean, bro. Stand on it. I tell you, man. At the very least, I hope Lamont Roach once again gets step aside money, man. You know what I mean? Haney was undisputed. Teo and Haney fought Loma. Shakur has challenged Loma and Devin. Tank has fought no one. And you're straight capping for a ducking fighter, period. You're talking about the dude Mag. Bro, you ain't lying, man. No one look, all they can do is try to keep deflecting. I'm done with the deflection tactics. See, this is what Tank Nation must understand. It was been Mainman for a very long time, providing some of y'all favorite narratives to protect Tank. That protection is gone as long as Lamont Roach is right there. Period. And y'all gotta run with y'all corny ass deflection tactics. Well, what about this guy? What about that? We talking about 31-year-old old ass Gervonta Tank Davis. Y'all told me he couldn't go up to 40 to face Devin, but he gonna go up to what, 190, 80 pounds to fight Jake from State Farm? I'm not doing it, bro. This is bad, man. Ducking Lamont Roach. This is the legacy of Gervonta Davis thus far. And he don't care. Like Andre Berto said. Don't care what y'all think. He gonna do what he wants to do. Y'all may come out in droves and say, hey, I want to see you fight Keyshawn. Tank gonna look at y'all and say, man, I ain't doing nothing. I'm doing what me and Al talked about behind closed doors. And we gonna keep playing and hustling. Come on, bruh. This protection got to stop, man. It's time for this kid to get into the fire. We need to know for sure what Tank Davis is made out of. Y'all keep guesstimating because of all of these setup fights that he had. Oh, little Leo, he knocked little Leo out with one punch. This fool, Leo Santa Cruz, was a 26-pounder. Can he knock out Devin with one punch? Can he knock out Gary Antoine with one punch? Can he knock out Shakur with one punch? Because when he got in there with Roach, the knockouts went poof, pow, be gone. Not even a knockdown, fight fans. So I'm starting to want, and Roach was a 30-pounder, right? 30-pounder. So I need to see that stuff that we love Tank for. It was great watching it on Leo and all of that shit through the. Now we at the elite level, like the elite. Let's see them same kind of performances on the top floor. I'm not talking about Pitbull. I'm not talking about Frank Martin. Tank is 30 years old. The gloves are off with him. We've gave him more grace than any fighter, perhaps damn near in history. No fighter could have got away with Tank got away with. The Floyd cosign and his fan base circling the wagons around him with constant narratives has protected him for years. He's 30 years old. He ain't no youngin' no more. He ain't little Tank no more, fight fans. He's a grown-ass man with children. And they know exactly what they doing and they playing y'all asses. I'm being 100 about it. Give Lamont Roach some step aside money, man. You know what I mean? Real spill. What up, Napoleon? Salute to my main man, Napoleon Armstrong out there, man. I ain't seen this much nut hugging since Spence. These knuckles get mad when you pull Tank card. They don't like to talk about the real with Tank, and that's the problem. They don't like to talk about that real, bro. They like to be lied to. They like to stay in fantasy land. They want to go to someone that's gonna make them feel good and tell you that no, man, Tank is the greatest, bro. Oh, everyone's picking on Tank Davis. Why don't you just leave Tank alone? The whole world is hating on Tank. That's what they want you to believe. But then when you ask one little question, what was up with the people he been fighting? Well, it's not Tank's fault. It's everyone else's fault. It's everyone's fault. It's Floyd's fault. It's Leonard's fault. It's everyone's fault. Why is he distancing himself away from Coach Calvin like that? Why he ain't looking out? Well, he ain't. It's Coach Calvin's fault. Like, yo, this is just like, it's like talking to a brick wall, bro. All we asking for is the bare minimum. We ain't talking unifications. We ain't talking undisputeds. We ain't talking moving up in weight to challenge the next big champ. We talking the basic thing of run back a controversial rematch that everyone think that they saw you lose, bruh. That is not too much to ask. And for everyone, like I say, that's running interference with this money excuse, y'all are the biggest suckers in the world. Like, facts, bruh. Y'all are happy to pay for mediocre crap. That'll never be Mainman. I've paid for enough mediocre crap. I had to watch PBC put Andy Ruiz and Charles Martin on pay-per-view and pay for that shit. Boy, y'all gotta stop being suckers, man. You know what I mean? Y'all gotta stop being suckers. But I hope you don't get KO'd by Jake Paul, man. I hope that don't happen, bro. I hope that don't happen, man. Tank told everyone before the Ghost fight that he just wants the bag and gone, period. But why are we okay with that, though, Trey? Well, you may say, well, that's that, man. Okay, cool. If you willing to fund that and pay for that, then y'all go right ahead, bro. Shit, if that's what boxing is, then I should have just been a boxer, because it's like, yo, the boxing fans just gonna give me money. I ain't got to do much. I listen to Ryan Garcia on social media, and everyone knows Ryan is the biggest joke in the sport of boxing. But Ryan is like, you know what? I guess I've been doing it all wrong. All you got to do is be popular. You can get your money, forget the legacy part. You can just be popular. He's saying to the young fighters who are coming up, hey, don't worry about all of that. Just get on the internet, kick up dust, be popular, and then you're going to get your money and get out of the sport of boxing. They are learning from Tank. If this is what the future of boxing going to watch, and people are going to follow these blueprints. They're going to sit back and say, hey, the same way that all of these boxers today wanted to follow what Floyd did, they're going to look today and say, oh, look what Tank did. Tank ain't had to fight no damn body. And he making $40 million in a fight. He ain't had to fight nobody. No, it's just that the fact that, listen, Tank had a fan base that was so blind and didn't mind funding Tank Davis. They just didn't mind fund. Instead of calling it GTD promotions, you might would just call it GoFundMe promotions. Like, y'all just happy with just throwing him money. Yeah, man, Tank, take my money, please. Like, what the hell? They had better put this shit free on Netflix, because I don't know who the hell. Well, Jake's people would have showed up, and that's another thing. See, look, it's Jake's people that's going to really, sell this thing right here, man. Jake's people, bro, and they ain't even boxing fans. That's why I can give two craps of what Jake Paul does. His fans don't translate over to the fight game. I can't stand when I listen to people out here say, oh, well, yeah, this fight is going to have so many people watch it and it's going to be so great. Yeah, because people going to get exposure to who? To a bunch of skateboarders? To a bunch of bare knuckle boxing fans? I mean, to who we talking about here? Because the eyeballs that everyone is so pressed to get the clicks and the views and the eyeballs from Jake Paul's name and all that, they don't give two craps about boxing. They're going to see you that night and go home the next day and forget your goddamn name. And then go back and listen to the next Jake Paul podcast or whatever he does. I don't even know what he do, bro. But they ain't coming to boxing. They definitely ain't sticking around the sport. It ain't translated to this point. So when is it gonna stop, fight fans? When is it gonna stop? But everybody think, oh, this is gonna be so much exposure. But this is a corporate grab. This is a corporate feast. We living in a time in this world where the corporate way is infecting every part of life. Some people can see it, some people cannot. It's as simple as that. And with this fight right here, this is a corporate thing. Oh, we got Jake and his people. We got Tank now. We're gonna put them on Netflix and make a big bag of money for, everyone. And that's what this is all about. Forget boxing fans. We're using boxing as the vehicle to make the money. The fans, we can care less about them. We got Jake's people. We good to go. Tank Davis only do 200,000 pay-per-views a fight anyway. We worried about Jake's people. So it is what it is, man. Hey, man, let him make his money, man. He got to make his money. Nah, he need to fight Lamont Roach and make that right. Legacy is in shambles right now. He should have an L, bro. He should have an L. You know what I'm saying? Real spill. Random. I've read several articles where Earl was referred to as a New York native. Texas, y'all need y'all asses whooped. Yeah, nah, Earl from New York. We've been knowing that for a long time. Yeah, Earl was born in New York. Earl, he moved to Texas. They adopted Earl. But nah, Earl, the East Coast player, bro. You ain't know that? Yeah, that's kind of old news, OG. Yeah, man, Earl from New York, bro. Earl from New York. Yeah. Salute to Earl, man. Salute to Earl. Hey, that ain't happening, man. Tank is a gimmick. After this fight, I highly doubt that he makes 135 again, and he will duck the top dogs at 140. Hey, bro, if he don't come back to 35, which that is a really, really, really good point, DGO. Wow, if he goes up, I wonder what weight that him and Jake Farm, State Farm, Jake, whatever his name, I wonder what weight that they gonna fight at. I'm hearing rumblings about 175. In order for somebody to sanction it, it has to happen around 175. So I know Tank ain't gonna go up there high, is he? Is he? If he goes up to 175, let me tell y'all something to my boxing heads out here. Y'all know how this goes when we talking about weight. You jump up that far in weight from 130, that's 40 pounds, bro. If he goes that high up, he runs the risk, a heavy risk of never being the same. Y'all do understand that. We've seen this over and over again. I got a gazillion examples. You go that high up in weight, it's not even like what Bud Crawford is doing. Like Bud going to 68 from 54. 35 to anything in the 170s or the 160s for Jake. For Jake, yo, Tank is running a risk of really messing his career up, because trying to come back down after your body's been up there that whole time at that higher weight can have some bad effects, and we all know it. Don't even know if he'll be able to make 35 again, like DGO is saying. That's a good point, bro, at least without hurting himself. Oh shit. See, this is one of the things that threw his boy Adrian Bronner off back in the day. Adrian Bronner made a grave mistake from going from 35 to 47, and it cost him. And he was never on track after that moment. He earned all it because he was way too big for 35, but we're gonna keep it a buck. But he went from 35 all the way up to 47, and he was never the same. He tried to go down to 40 and was getting his ass whooped left and right down at 140. Barely got past Ashley Theophane. Remember? When you do that, when you throw your weight out of flux like that, man, you run a bad risk. So I hope Tank, man, he go up there high, trying to come back down to the 35 and 40. Look at Charlo. Charlo can't get right. Charlo go up there to fight Canelo. We ain't seen him since. All of this smoke in Charlo's division, he doesn't come out to play. Why? I think his weight all jacked up. Can't get right. Need extra time. Tank better watch it, man. Tank better watch. Shoot, we might be saying bye-bye to the Roach rematch in that case. That'd be messed up, man. He go off and fight Jake Paul, and he goes too high in weight. The Roach rematch may be done. Think about it. What are you gonna make Roach wait? He said sometime next year. What if Lamont Roach loses? That's a possibility. These some tough names he talking about out here. What if he loses? Then the moment is gone. Man, this shit is corny, dog. This shit is corny, bruh. This shit is corny, bro. I hope, man, somebody come out, Tank PBC or one of these cats come out and just like shoot all of this down. Like, you know what? It was fake news. It wasn't real. I hope so, bro, because bro, this is terrible, bro. This can easily spell the end of Tank Davis. Trying at least coming back down to 35 and 40. Damn, bro. Shoot the Blind Faith. Blind Faith says, Tank could fight Jake, then Manny, and grab the money. Oh my, I forgot about the Manny fight, man. This shit is trash. I would have more respect for the Manny fight than I probably will for the Jake fight, but either way, you still ducking Roach, bro. We are not going to erase the performance that Lamont Roach put out there, fight fans. And guess what? Guess what fans would say about that? If Manny Pacquiao showed up behind Jake Paul, well, man, he's going to go and make $50 million, man. You want to see that? Oh, yeah. I guess we just got to accept the fact, everybody. Tank Davis is pure attraction. Simple and Simon. The risk ain't gonna get taken. I'm done asking the questions about any other fighter when it comes to Tank Davis at this point. I'm done asking about his legacy. I'm done even worrying about it anymore. At this point, he's nothing more than an attraction. Simple as he's a merry-go-round. He's a Ferris wheel. He's the spooky house. He's an attraction. Put his ass in Disneyland somewhere. Oh, Disneyland Tank and shit. Come on, man. Come on. Yeah, that fool was born in New York, bro. I know. It says it was me, DeSoto, and Jerry's world till he lost. Now and only now are they mentioning New York like that. Hey, Earl might need to relocate Texas. I don't know, man. You know, Earl ain't been getting a lot of love, man. Maybe Earl ain't feeling the love like that no more, man. I don't know, man. I don't know. I hope Texas still in this corner, man. Maybe Earl, like, you know what? I'm gonna go up to the East Coast and chill out with the New Yorkers. Because after that fight with Bud, bro, people jumped off the bandwagon by the multitudes. You know, man. So I'm hoping that Texas is still riding with old Earl, man. I'm hoping that he is, man. Man, do you think that Tank is going to go to 160-75? Are you crazy? Well, Jake can't get but so low. How low is Jake gonna come? Jake ain't gonna come down to like no 154 or 147 or nothing. Jake gonna have to cut weight to it. The minimum, he's a cruiserweight now, right? So if he's fighting at cruiserweight, which is 200 pounds, he gonna come down to 75, maybe at the most 68, if they can do that. Like Jake, I don't know, bro. That 68 at the most, I would think. And if Tank got to go up there to 68, that's still too damn high. This shit is corny, bro. This shit, Tank gonna sit in that joint looking like a meatball, little fat little meatball and shit in there trying to fight and shit. Man, I tell you, man, Tank is not coming back down to 135, fam. He doesn't stay in shape like that. He is going to be fighting at a catch weights from now on. I'm telling you, you might be right, Texas T. You might be right. Catch weights from here on down. Yeah, I can definitely see a lot of that. Rehydration clauses and catch weights and stupid shit like that. Tank has totally left the legacy conversation, bro. Like totally left it. I'm hoping he would come on back home, dog. That's the only thing we can say, man. Right now, he is the biggest duck in the sport. He took this moment away from Lamont Roach. And as for Lamont Roach, what's going to happen with him, man? I hope he get the fight that he wants. I hope he can kick up some dust with somebody, bro. At the very least, go back down to 30 and defend your WBA belt. You know what I mean? Do that if that's what it takes. But that's messed up, man. That's really messed up. I'm hoping at the very least, Lamont Roach took some step aside money. And like I said before, maybe he had a conversation with Tank at this point and then they kind of smoothed it over. All Tank had to do was put in a freaking phone call, y'all. A freaking phone call. You know what I mean? He does not want the Lamont Roach fight. Yeah, I've been hearing little rumblings. Tank want the money. Tank want the money. PBC ain't been paying him. PBC ain't been paying him. Not to mention PBC needs the money. PBC is down to their foundations, y'all. Y'all gotta understand. They haven't had a budget all year, or last year for that matter. That's why they got their fighters on rent-a-fighter right now. They like rent-a-fighter. Who y'all want right now? Everybody wide open. I thought we was going to be hearing news about PBC and Top Rank supposed to be doing all of these fights together. We got nothing so far. Over half of the year is gone. Some money. It's just they hustling right now, dog. They hustling, man. They hustle. That's why they couldn't bring on Shakur. I know that for a fact. Shakur wanted to go over to PBC and try to get the Tank fight, but they didn't have nothing to offer him. That's why they didn't want no new friends. They didn't want to sign Shakur. Shakur went over there to try to get signed. They couldn't afford him. And they don't think that Shakur is the kind of guy that they can make the money off. It's a hustle with PBC. If you don't got a hustle mentality over there with them, they ain't trying to fuck with you, Joe. Simple. You got to be like somebody big for them to mess with you. You got to be Canelo or something to that effect, a Pacquiao. Something that they can make something off. But nah, Shakur, man, you got to keep stepping, bro. We can't do what we do. It's just crazy, dog. It's just crazy. What we got to understand is that it's all business. It's about what makes money for them and not what we want to see. But then they want us to pay. That is the most corniest thing ever. I don't give two craps about their business. I care about the product that I'm paying for, bro. That's the thing. We are not them and they are not us. We need to draw a line between the business people in boxing and what they want and what actual fans want, and realize that we have the purchasing power to control that narrative. We need to wake up. And that's not only just in boxing, but there's a lot of sectors around life, period, that we need to have that mentality, period. Same thing, even on jobs and shit. You know what I'm saying? Yo, job can't work without you. The job don't run without you. If people come together, what they gonna do? That's why they don't want y'all to have unions and so on and so forth. What they gonna do about that? They don't want it to be a collective. And see, with us boxing fans, they've pinned, some of us are such hardcore fanatics where we literally cut off our nose to spite our face. We want the best versus the best, and even willing to pay for it. No one is not willing to pay for it. They wonder why piracy is so high. Yeah, some of them is a bunch of cheapskates, don't get me wrong. But then there's a lot of folks that's just on a position like, you know what, I'm just not paying for this crap, bro. I didn't go to work all week and earn my hard-earned paycheck to come down and just give it away for some shit that I don't want to see. That makes you the sucker. Worrying about what they want instead of what you want when they need you. It makes no sense to me. Boxing is the only sport that will take advantage of their fans if you sit back and let them. They won't open their mouth, just like, hey, y'all cool with it? We cool with it. Cool. Y'all gonna keep paying this money? We gonna keep giving y'all this crap. Keep it on up. But the second that those numbers drop into the bucket, you're gonna have fighters coming out here like we heard a couple years ago. Oh, Al said that, yo, we gotta start fighting each other now. Y'all remember when Andre Berto and them came out saying that shit? Oh, Al said that we gotta start fighting each other because hey, the money drying up. You remember that? But no. They don't got to do that, man, because they got too many of us out here fooled. I ain't going for it no more, fight fans. Not at all. And at the end of the day, like I told y'all, Tank fans, we gave him 8 years of grace. We turned our head the other way during the Lomachenko situation early on. We turned our head the other way when he was out here airing out Floyd, talking about Floyd was rushing him for the Pedraza fight and want to see him beat. Everyone turned their head. They ain't say nothing. Everyone turned their head when Shakur walked over there and say, hey, what's good? I'm trying to get signed. We just, you know what? Let the moment pass. You know, it is what it is. They can't do it. Everyone gave him grace upon grace upon grace. And now we supposed to give him, some of y'all, hold on, some of you fans out there, and this is the part that really got me banging my head up against the wall. Some of y'all gave him grace for taking a knee in the middle of a fight, Lord have mercy. I mean, could Lord have mercy. The fool takes a knee in the middle of the fight, and y'all came up with your finest excuses. Well, it's not against the rules, man. I mean, we got to look at the rules. What part of the rules did it say that you couldn't do that? Show me. I want to see it in black and white right now. You sitting there like, yo, this fool just took a damn knee, and you sitting here asking me about the rules? Boy, if that was Shakur Stevenson, if that was Gary Antoine Russell or Devin Haney, y'all would have been airing him out from shore to shore. But the Tank fans, well, man, we just don't know that for sure. I mean, what is the WBA rules? I don't care about what Vegas rules says. What is the WBA rule? If they don't say it, then it didn't happen. And people really had to go to the rule books to explain to you lunch boxes that, yo, this is against the rules. Well, the ref didn't count, man. The ref did start counting. How are we going to expect it? How can we get around that? Well, that ref was old. He's old. He needed to retire. It was his fault. Like, get the fuck. If the ref let it go, man, then it means it's legal. I'm going to put it to you straight like this. There's no bigger Terrence Bud Crawford fan here on the internet, perhaps, than Mademan. But you had let Bud Crawford that took a knee. I would have been looking at Bud side eye like, yo, what the hell? Like, you took a knee in the freak. That's a knockdown. But the Tank fans, no. They ain't giving that up, man. They ain't giving that up. I admire y'all. That's good that y'all, circle the wagons around Tank. The Canelo fans do it, right? The Canelo fans do it. But at the end of the day, it's corny, it's pussification, and all we are asking for, everyone, are the basics. Just rematch freaking Lamont Roach. You know what I'm saying? Real spill. Tank is not coming an ounce over 145. Tank can eat 10,000 and still won't make 160. 10,000 calories and still won't make 160. Unless we are talking major amounts of EPO and tren, it's not possible to build that much of lean muscle. That's a lot of weight, bro. That's a lot of weight. That's why I say this is going to be the most funny lookingest exhibition ever. Little fat little meatball Tank in there with big ass Jake Paul. People pay for any damn thing nowadays, dog. Like Netflix had to get this shit away for free. I mean, it is what it is, man. If he can't come back down, bro, I don't see Tank being able to operate at 47 or maybe 54 right now. That's just not good for Tank. And I just, man, I'm gonna put it to y'all. We got a ways to go. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that somebody from PBC come out and say this is all fake news, man. That would just be music to my damn ears. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. If y'all Tank fans, y'all got a lot of excuses to make. Y'all got a lot of narratives to create. I'm sure y'all gonna be out here creating narrative upon narrative and coming up with reason upon reason. I seen that crap that the Tank fans was pushing about Lamont Roach's shorts being too high. Y'all were out here literally looking at Lamont Roach's shorts, talking about his he wore his shorts too high. Like, yo, y'all got to stop, bro. I'm surprised they're not running around calling Lamont Roach a snack fighter. Oh, he's on snack. I ain't heard that one yet. Now y'all looking at Lamont Roach's shorts. Y'all was so unhappy when Lamont Roach was celebrating getting the reception that he was getting here back home. He got a big parade thrown for him and all kinds of receptions he had here. They were recognizing him at different games and all that. And he's taking his draw. He's too happy with his draw. Newsflash, Tank Nation. He don't think that he had a draw. He think that he won. And he got a damn good argument to say so. Why did Tank Davis take a knee? He got a damn good reason. He don't believe that he lost or had a draw. He believes in his head that he's the first man to beat Gervonta Tank Davis and beat the system that protects Gervonta Tank Davis. So y'all can try to dump on Roach all you want. Roach is on cloud 9 because him and his people know. Yeah, we know. We know what we saw that night. We know the politics got involved that night, but we know we won that fight. And I would think, honestly, if I was to do a poll, easy work, I'm sure the consensus would definitely come in for Lamont Roach. Well, man, I don't think that he done enough. I've watched that fight 25 times. What are you talking about? I've watched it 25 times, and even with the sound off, he did not do enough to take it from the champion. Well, did you count the knockdown? No, I didn't count the knockdown because the ref didn't count. So if you count the knockdown, he loses, at least according to the scorecards. Yeah, so that should have been ruled a knockdown, right? Yeah, but it wasn't. Okay, he lost. No matter how you slice it, he lost. If any of y'all say I'm cool with the draw, that means he lost because the knockdown should have been counted. On every judge, on the judge's official scorecards, you count the knockdown, Tank Davis lose. No, we don't get that, but we get Tank Davis whispering to Lamont Roach in his ear, you know that they're not going to give it to you, right? Boy, this is some pussy shit, bro. Y'all following pussy, bro. I can't get with it. Lamont Roach a real when he came up and shocked the world, and they took it from him. Shocked the world. He turned the world upside down, and they just don't want to accept the results. Coming out with I even seen people talking about some, oh, the judge is so wrong for picking on a little Tank. But y'all are the biggest glazers in the world, bro. Fool hit a pregnant woman. Not one of y'all have even thought about that woman, did y'all? Not one of y'all. Oh, I don't want to hear this. Oh no. Yeah, Tank hit a pregnant woman and didn't check on that woman. But y'all were worried about the judge going too hard on Tank, even though she slapped him on the wrist and hooked him up. That would have been me or you. We thrown under the jail. Easy work. Tank fans are making me sick. Y'all too soft. Say what you want about the Canelo fans. They may be delusional, but they ain't soft. Y'all are soft. Because you take the carpet and you hold it right there for Tank Davis. You give him every excuse in the book to do what he does. He's fired everyone around him that looked out for him. No Floyd, no Leonard, Coach Calvin hanging on by a string. And y'all keep on coddling this dude. Nah, it ain't gonna happen over here no more. You fucked up by fucking over Roach with Mainman. No way. And this was totally wrong. Roach ain't did nothing wrong but shock the world, and he being dumped on for this little dude. A Tank is afraid of a Roach. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Get out of here. Who y'all fooling? You know what I mean? Who y'all fooling? Tank's fan base are the softest, bro. The shit that he do, y'all let him get away with it. Don't even question nothing that he does. Fuck out of here, bro. That ain't gonna happen over here with Mainman. WBA needs to take Roach and Tank's belts. I don't know about Roach. Unless Roach ain't going to 30 no more. You know what I mean? That's something different. But if Tank go do this Jake Paul thing, he should be stripped. You should be stripped. You got Schofield. I think he's in the number 1 position, right? And you got Roach right up, I think right behind him or some shit like that. Like, let them two fight for the vacant belt, man. If Tank want to go off and make his supposed 40 million, right? Which, like I said, once the bells and whistles come out, we're looking at maybe 15 to 20 million. If he needs to go off and do that with Jake from State Farm, then give up the belt, bro. Don't hold up the division. Don't hold up Schofield. Don't hold up Roach because you want to go off with your easy lick. If Tank needs the money, fight fans, for all of you money counters out there, he's making life-changing money on your dime, and you think that Tank needs the money, then why doesn't he go to Turkey Al-Sheikh? That's all I want to know. For all of y'all standing in the way, trying to come up with the new 2025 excuse for Tank. It's life-changing money. He can make that money with Turkey, and y'all all know it. Only difference is that Turkey gonna make him fight. Turkey gonna make him fight. He's gonna have to earn those dollars. But instead, he says, nah, I ain't had to earn it this far. Why I'm gonna start today? 2 years of my prime, it already disappeared. Why would I start today? I'm gonna keep using these suckers around me And guess what? When I'm done with Jake, and if I decide to go fight Pacquiao at a catch weight, they're gonna be right there to support that too. And next thing you know, I'm 34 years old and I still ain't fought none of my classmates. Who cares? I do what I want. Who cares what y'all think? The ego on some of these cats, bro. Guys like Terrence Bud Crawford, guys like Lamont Roach, they would never do no shit like that. You know what I mean? They running into burning buildings. Nah, If Tank see a burning building, his ass gonna run the opposite direction, run into some safe space, and then tell somebody else to run in there and let them know how hot it is when they get in there. Tank ducking, bruh. And he ain't fought no smoke. No smoke. We had him and Gary Antoine Russell on the same card, but they can't get in the same fight. Floyd had to protect him for years from Gary. Even railroaded Gary. Gary hurt his own career chasing after Tank Davis. Floyd Mayweather, man, made sure that the Russells got, let's just say restricted because of all of the noise that they made about Tank Davis. Because Gary was embarrassing the product. They told Gary to stop. You know that Tank ain't made for that. We got him over here on another kind of program. He ain't on the same kind of program as you. No. Tank is our guy. He's our boy. And we gonna all eat. Everybody eats. Me, Al, Leonard, we gonna all eat. Tank might eat, but if we can get him in debt and get something over him, he ain't gonna eat but so much, and he gonna be controlled. I leave you with this message, fight fans. The number one way to control a person or anything, a country, a nation, an empire, is to do what? Get them in debt. Get something on them. And now they have no more control. And I think that, something like that is going down. A couple more, then we out of here, fight fans. That little thick red bone took a knee and got away with it. Yeah, that fool got away with it, bro. And even told Lamont Roach, that they ain't gonna give it to you. I hope Roach can land him a good fight, man. Something to do in the meantime, between time. But most importantly, I hope that he gets step aside money, because Tank Davis was going towards Roach, hyping up Roach, hiring all of these trainers, had this training camp going down in Florida, going back and forth between Florida and Baltimore, coach here, coach there. Coach Calvin up here, Coach Cunningham down there, all of these coaches. What's the other, the Muslim brother he was hitting the pads with? All of these coaches, he was getting ready for Roach. I tapped my sources. Yeah, he locked in, getting ready for Roach. He is super locked in. Roach gonna have a problem, was what I was being told. Jake from State Farm was nowhere to be found. He was gonna fight AJ. Jake from State Farm make one damn call and the whole Roach rematch breaks down. Bro, y'all, man, get out of here, man. So at least look out for your boy, man, and throw him some step aside money. You know what I mean? Throw him some step aside money. We're gonna get on up out of here. Now, keep in mind, fight fans, we're gonna move forward towards Canelo and Crawford. We're gonna get back on that track. I'm looking forward to this coming week. We did Crawford all week long, the different tools that he got. I got one more video coming out about Terrence Crawford, and then we're gonna do Canelo all next week. So expect for videos to my fam out there. Expect for videos for what we should expect for Terrence Crawford to look out for from Canelo Alvarez. That's how we're going to frame that. But these are going to definitely be Canelo's tools. So we're going to do that part of the series. And then we're just going to mash it up all the way up into the fight fans. I need y'all on here yelling and screaming. I need you Canelo fans telling me why your guy is going to beat my guy's ass. A real live historical fight fans. They got the nerve to put this trash on the doorstep of Canelo and Crawford the day before, huh? Trash, fight fans. But I got to give it to Netflix, though. As far as from an entertaining standpoint, to have this back to back on Netflix and all you got to do is be a subscriber. Shit, Netflix is kicking out a lot of dough for these fights, fight fans. A lot of dough. At least give us Roach versus Gary Antoine a fight, PBC. Damn swindlers, man. Hey, and listen, and Lamont is calling for that fight. He said he'll take Gary Antoine Russell. Give us something, bruh. Like, give us something. Like I told folks, listen, let me tell you another thing. I'm gonna talk more about this probably tomorrow on another live stream. But Andy Ruiz, man, like, how did we forget about Andy Ruiz? I think that Andy Ruiz got a chance on some of these heavyweights, Joe. I look at what Moses did. I ain't even talked about Moses, Atama, and Dillian White's performance last week. But to look at Moses, and we wondering who on American soil can possibly hang with Moses. Yeah, I know we all thinking about Jared Anderson. But how come ain't nobody talking about fast hands Andy? I would love to see Moses Atama get in there and deal with Andy Ruiz. Now y'all may say, well, man, his feet work is too good and boom, boom, boom. But Andy got them fast hands and he's a combination puncher, bro. I would love to see that matchup right there. And PBC has thrown Andy Ruiz under a rock. Where's Andy? Let's not forget, Andy is 1-1 with AJ. 1-1. And AJ ran away from that third fight. Andy came back and she may have blew up like a blimp in that second fight, but he came back in that third fight looking like slim and trim. He was ready to go. And AJ was nowhere to be found. And since then, ain't nobody talking about Andy Ruiz. You know, I know Andy made some mistakes, you know what I'm saying? But when Andy is on his game, I think he's a damn good heavyweight. You look at what he did to Luis Ortiz. He handled Luis Ortiz. I would love to see Andy Ruiz versus Moses Atama. You know, looking at Michael Hunter in his mix-ups with Don King, it don't look like that's gonna happen. But I would love to see him beat Andy Ruiz. How come ain't nobody speaking of? And I got Andy Ruiz honestly hanging with a lot of these heavyweights, given his style and the way that he fights. He's not a big pressure guy that runs out of gas. He's a coordinated, fast hands, combination punching heavyweight. And if he's disciplined and he's not, you know, Andy from the second AJ fight, he's a dangerous heavyweight. I want to see who can get in there and mix it up with Andy. Is Moses good enough to beat Andy? While we moving Moses up the ladder so fast and we jumping him up there with Usyk and shit like that, hey, at the end of the day, can he beat Andy? Can Jared Anderson beat Andy? These are unanswered questions. Can Jared, the only one over there that beat Andy, and that was a close fight back in the day, is Joe Parker. Joe beat him back in the day, but that was a very, very close fight. I remember watching that fight live. Andy came out blazing in that fight. He ran out of gas in the second half, but he was whooping Joe Parker's ass in that first half of that fight. And now Andy, from what I'm seeing, looking like he's in, you know, every time, well, at least the last few pictures I saw, he looked like he was in pretty decent shape, bro. And Jeff says, yo, Andy old and out of shape. Man, the last time I seen Andy, he was looking all right. You know what I mean? I want to see Andy. I mean, Andy need to come on back out here to the public and kick up some dust and see if he can get picked up by Turkey, bro. I think that Andy is getting left behind, and he's the style of heavyweight that can give a lot of catch problems. I'm telling you, Joe, Andy can hit to the body. Andy strings together the combinations. Andy can be aggressive. I want to see him in there. I ain't saying that he's the, you know, the guaranteed winner, but I just think that a fight with Andy versus any of these cats would be very close and contentious. I think he beat AJ in the third fight for sure. I think he beats AJ in the third fight for sure. Andy is awkward, but he seems to be quite quiet himself. He may have enough bread to sustain him for the time being. Yeah, you know, and he built that gym. You know, after them AJ checks, man, Andy started, you know, just standing in his own little world. He built the gym. He got like a farm life type of thing going, man. So, but I don't know. The last time we saw Andy, he was actually calling for a fight. Andy still wants to fight. I just don't think that PBC just don't got nothing for him. And I don't know what his status is between him and PBC, but things don't seem to be cool like that. You know what I'm saying? Real spill. Moses versus FA is a good measuring stick fight. I think Moses maybe be a little too athletic for FA. FA so stiff. You know what I mean? Strong, good puncher, but just so stiff. And I think athletically, like he'd have a problem keeping up with Moses. But it'll be an interesting fight. You know what I'm saying? If FA lands, he can definitely give Moses some problems. But I think that Moses is really good as far as his athleticism, which is getting him through a lot of these fights. And he making kind of edge that out on FA. You know what I mean? But I think, man, I'm telling y'all, bro, I think Andy might get it. I think Andy might get him. You know what I mean? Man, Andy is enjoying his pizza shop. Oh, he got a pizza shop? Hey man, Andy's pizza shop, man. That sounds good as a mug though. Hey, look at his IG. He's living life and he ain't thinking about no damn boxing. Oh damn. Well, so much for that, man. I thought Andy would have been perfect, bro. Andy would have been perfect, man. I thought that Big Baby Miller beat Andy. Hell nah. Big Baby Miller is a damn bum, bro. He just talks his way into fights. He gimmicks his way into fights. Big Baby Miller is a bum, bro. Ever since he then got caught for them PEDs, I don't know. He's just been that lesser of a fighter. I mean, his style was already risky as it was. It relied on his engine, and ever since his engine kind of went out, them chopping you down by 1,000 cuts, shit, man, that shit ain't working no more, bro. And man, Big Baby Miller is just knockout bait right now, bro. I don't see Big Baby ever coming near a title. That's just being honest. I don't see it. I don't see it. You know, man. I just don't see it. But as far as American soil goes, bro, we still got Jared Anderson. We still got Andy somewhere out there. And I guess Deontay Wilder, we holding on. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. So I'm out of here, fight fans. I want to say thank y'all to everyone that rocked out with me tonight, man. Still, like I said, I'm laid up under doctor's orders, fight fans. I'm all stitched up and bandaged up right now. Pull some ligaments in my shoulder. And let me tell y'all something, man. I don't know if y'all ever get gym injuries, bro. It is some of the most painful damn injuries to get. And they take, bro, I've been dealing with this for over a week now. I finally had to get up and go and see a doctor. And they do x-rays and put all of this stuff all around you and give you some good pain meds. But I can't basically do nothing but just lay here until it heals. And so I think I'm gonna be doing a lot of streaming. I didn't took off for work. I didn't, told myself I ain't doing no extra strenuous activities. Everybody, these gym injuries ain't to be played with. So if you get one, the number one thing you got to do with this shit is rest. Real spill. So that's what I'll be doing. So I'll see y'all sometime tomorrow, man. We chopping on up. Let's pick on back up on some real boxing talk. I hope Tank Davis can turn this around, man, because honestly, this is the most greasiest I've talked about Tank Davis in a real long time. And I don't take no pride in talking this way. But at the end of the day, fight fans, I cannot stand next to pussification. And no, I'm not going to be your sucker to enrich you. Have a blessed night, fight fans. And until the next one, man. Peace out. Yeah, hey, it's no joke, bro. No joke. No joke.